Welcome to the Himalayas!
People always told me I need someone like you, someone who gets me and someone who's cool, yeah. And I like the way you are, and now I want it all.
Alright guys, it is February 16th, and look at this. It is snowing. This is the craziest, unexpected snowstorm I've ever been in. We are living full-time in our Class A RV right back here. We are at a RV park in Roswell, New Mexico right now. Look at this snow coming down. This is like day 3 or 4 of this cold snap that rolled through. And I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of document and let you guys know how it's going living in an RV in 0-degree weather. I'm already sliding on the road here. It was raining this morning. It's now snowing. This road behind me is all like icy and slippery. The other night we were playing games and watching TV. Went to wash our hands and there was no water. Our water line was frozen out here. So I had to come out, unhook that, and we started using our freshwater reserve. I was actually able to come out the next day and refill the fresh water, make sure that it was full, because I had brought the frozen hose in and put it in the shower and let it defrost. Looks like we have a salt truck coming through over here. At least I hope that's what it is, because we had to go out to get propane. We ran out of propane and we had to go out and fill up the other day. That was on Friday, and now we are almost out again. So we have to go out today in this snow and craziness to fill up more propane. In addition to that, if you come back here, you can see that not only am I disconnected from the water, but I'm disconnected from the electric. I use a CPAP, and this morning I woke up and couldn't breathe. It was basically like I was being smothered because the CPAP shut off because the electric went out. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up, get dressed, come out here, unhook from shore power, and turn on the generator. Thank God we have a generator. Now the other thing is, yesterday I spent the whole day trying to thaw out the valves for the black and gray tanks so that I could dump them. It took pretty much all day long. Let's just cut to that footage for a minute here. Alright guys, I am in Roswell, New Mexico right now, and this is what we're looking at right now. Unexpectedly, we had a ton of snow. It is about 2 degrees out here right now. We have about, 3 inches of snow total here over the past couple of days. Here's our site right here. Everything is frigid. About an hour ago, I came out here and turned on the car and let it warm up and cleaned off all the snow. I should have got a shot before I did that. But it is so cold out here right now. When we arrived here like 5 days ago, it was 80 degrees. We were out running around in shorts and t-shirts, flip-flops, and filming aliens and everything. And then all of a sudden this cold front came through, gave us all this snow, and the temperatures dropped. The coldest it's been is 8 below zero out here. So I just thought that I would make this video to kind of document what we've been doing to deal with this cold weather. Now, some people are prepared for this when they live in their RV, but we were not. We plan on just chasing the warm weather, which is what we've been doing anyway. And the coldest we've been in up to this point has been about 34 degrees, something like that. We had absolutely no plans to ever camp in anything like this, so we're really not prepared. We don't even have winter clothes. We have a few things, long pants and my hoodie. I have a couple of coats in there. But as far as the RV goes, you can see we're surrounded by snow here. It is still, like I said, about 2 degrees out here or something right now. It is so cold. And what I'm dealing with right now is all this stuff out here. I see a lot of questions on the internet about, will my pipes freeze, will my water freeze, blah, blah, blah. I have those same questions. I'm learning as I go. Now here is where you hook up the water. We had our hose hooked up there and going in, so you see we have about 4 to 5 feet of a stretch right there where the hose was exposed. The first night, when it got down to like 27, that froze immediately. Looking online, I saw where people said, don't do it that way, unhook that, use your onboard water supply. So that's exactly what I did. That has been working perfectly fine ever since we did it. No indication that anything is freezing under there as far as the water lines or anything like that. And I don't have any kind of extra insulation or anything on any of it. It's all right up under the rig and inside the cabinets and that. Now I have bought a couple of very small space heaters that I put under the cabinets in the kitchen and in the bathroom, just to keep those pipes in that area warm. It seems to be doing the trick because nothing has frozen. Okay, it is so absolutely freezing outside. I had to come in and warm up for a few minutes before I finish what's going on out there. But I wanted to show you what we're using here for heat inside the rig. This is one thing. We have our electric fireplace here. That puts off a little bit of heat, enough to get some heat in here. Then I bought 3 of these at Walmart yesterday. They were on clearance for $7 a piece. Just these very small ceramic heaters. I looked these up and they only pull 2 amps of electric. So I have 3 of them, and we are actually using all 3 of them at the same time right now. We have one under here, just kind of keeping this space warm where there's pipes and things like that. We have this open back here where there's more pipes under there, obviously. And then we have another one of the heaters in here in the bathroom to keep the bathroom warm, because this up here lets in a ton of cold air. So if you come in to go to the bathroom and you don't have that thing on, you're gonna freeze. The third one we had running back here in a bedroom, sitting up here. And that's the one that I have in the compartment below that I'm going to show you in just a minute. But we also took our pillows and we piled them up back here over that window, just to kind of block out any cold air that might be coming in there. And of course we have the propane heater going here. You can see right here it's 68 degrees in here. We have the propane set at 66. So you can see that our little electric heaters are helping to keep it warm in here. And that helps the propane to not kick in so often, because we just filled it up 2 days ago and it is already down to 1/3 of a tank. So you can see where we have 2/3 fresh water, 2/3 gray water, 2/3 black water. The gray and the black is what I'm trying to dump right now. And like I said, you know, we're using the fresh water so that our line doesn't freeze outside. And I've brought our hoses in, as well as our filter and our gauge, and I just leave them right here in the shower. That way they stay warm and they won't be frozen. And when we need more water in the freshwater tank, I just take that out, hook it up, fill up the fresh water, unhook it, and bring it right back in. All right, guys, it is literally like 8 hours later. I am still out here. Well, I'm not still out here from this morning. I ran to Walmart and I got some RV antifreeze, poured a little bit down the toilet, poured a little bit down into the gray tank through the rest of the drains, like the kitchen drain and that, because that's what I saw other people doing online, which kind of surprised me because I didn't think that was really a great idea. But I also brought one of these little heaters out here and set it up. So that thing's been in there for probably 4 hours now, just running and warming everything up in here, because the valves were just completely frozen solid. So now I've got them to open about 3/4 of the way, and I'm able to actually dump my tanks here, so thank God. So in the end of all that, I did end up getting the valves to open probably about 90% of the way. It emptied the tanks the best I could, so we don't have to worry about filling up the tanks so much now. However, the spigot is now frozen, so we can no longer refill the fresh water, so now we have to conserve that. So right now I'm out here just kind of looking around to see if there's anybody else out, like walking their dogs or anything, because I needed to know if anybody else has their generators on, if the shore power is still out, and just stepping out, I can hear people's generators, so I know that everybody out here is in the same boat. It is absolutely frigid out here right now, guys. It is 14 degrees. My fingers feel like they are frostbitten, and I have no idea where that guy in a truck went. He must not have been salt. It must have been, like, you see these big tanks back here, big propane tanks. Must have been the guys who drive around and refill those. Unfortunately, we only have a small onboard tank, and there's nobody in the area who will come out here to refill us. We had to pack everything up as if we're going to hit the road and travel, just to run 5 minutes up the road to refill on our propane. I am freezing to death. I'm gonna go back in right now, and we're gonna keep you updated here in this video. All right, guys, we're still at it. As you can see, it has stopped snowing. A lot of stuff has melted, but it's still only in the 20s here. My water faucet on our side is frozen solid. I can't even turn it on. So I went to the site next door that was actually my beautiful wife's idea. We checked that one. I figured they'd all be frozen. That one's working. So we hooked up our freshwater hose, ran it all the way over here, and we're filling up our fresh water on this side. So we will be good to go. As soon as that's done, we're gonna hit the road, run down the street, get some propane, and then rough it out for the next 3 days here until everything else actually thaws out and we can get everything back in proper working order. This is what it is. We are on our way back out. We just closed up the whole RV, got everything prepared as if we were gonna travel 1,000 miles, just so we could go 10 minutes up the road and refill with propane, because we got 3 more really cold days ahead of us. So this will take us about half an hour. We'll be back, spend an hour setting everything back up. Okay, well, we're back. We got a full tank of propane, and let's see, what are we doing here? This has been so crazy. I got the tanks flushing here. Our spigot over here now is running, so I have this flush line hooked up to it to flush through the black tank. I got Marion inside running some hot water into the gray tank so that if there's any ice in there, it'll hopefully melt through it a little bit. It's decent right now. It's about, I don't know, 30 something out, but it's supposed to freeze again tonight, so I'm just trying to get everything in order and ready to roll. And then all this stuff, you know, we're not going to hook up to the water tonight. We're going to still use our onboard water, because I know that if we hooked up, our hose would freeze again tonight when it drops down. So that's where we're at right now, guys. So let me just show you real quick during this process the problems I encountered. Number 1, the hose from there to here froze. Number 2, these valves froze where I could not pull them down and flush the tanks. Number 3, I broke part of this one off when I was trying to pull them down. Number 4, this thing right here broke clean off of there. So I had to get online and find a new one of these, because this is what's used to flush the black tank. Amazingly, our sewer line here is perfectly intact. It did not crack or anything, and it's been perfectly fine, no problems with the sewer. But our electric hookup, the power did go off today for a little bit. We got that running again now, but we may have to unhook and use the generator again later on today, or maybe even through the night, because the owner of the park told us that New Mexico is doing rolling blackouts right now and supposed to do it like 3 times today, and we don't even know for how long each time. So that could go off again at any time, and I'll just have to use the generator, but thank God we have the generator. So while everything is flowing good now, I'm gonna hook up our freshwater hose to the spigot. We're gonna get our showers and get cleaned up. So Babe is bringing me the the clean hose here. While everything is running, I'm gonna hook up the fresh water again. We're gonna get our showers, and then I'll come back out and unhook everything, and we'll just prepare for the freeze tonight, settle in, do some editing, whatever else we need to get done. So guys, even though this process has sucked, this is the best way to learn how to handle these situations. If you go on the groups on Facebook and you ask a question, all the know-it-alls hop on and they start acting like you're an idiot, and you know. So this is really the best way to learn it, just by going through the process. And you know, now we will be much better prepared for the possible next time.
People always told me I need someone